Good morning everybody, and welcome back to another weekly recap. It has been quite a while since I've made one of these, I think over a month since the last recap, mainly because there hasn't been that many updates to the main game. However, today we finally did receive a content update, albeit kind of small. Today we finally got the final changes to the equipment rebalance, one of the bigger updates that, got put in the back burner for a while. Now on top of that, we have also received the results for the group Ironman poll. Not to keep you in suspense anymore, it did end up passing. However, we're going to have a quick look at the results, if spite voting had a big effect, and just kind of discuss that as well. And as always, we're going to go over anything else interesting in the old school RuneScape community this week. Thanks for watching as always, guys. If you do enjoy the weekly recap, don't forget to leave a like on the video, and of course don't forget to subscribe to make sure you don't miss any of my future videos. Anyway guys, let's get started. Alright, so let's start off by looking at the group Ironman poll, because that was one of the more hotly debated topics this week. Now throughout the week there was a growing concern that the group Ironman poll might not actually pass, even though it is very popular and a ton of dev time and work has already gone into it. And the reason for that is the Deadman mode finals didn't really go as planned. There were some serious issues during the final due to lag, and the tournament was a bit botched. Because of that, a lot of PvPers were very frustrated with it and started to vote no on Group Ironman, and some even encouraged their viewer bases to also vote no as well. So Group Ironman was the most voted on poll in the history of the game with 145,000 votes, and the final result was 80% yes to 20% no. Now the question of course that most people had is how much of an effect did spite voting have on the poll result, because 80% isn't exactly close to failing, but it wasn't as resounding of a popular poll as a lot of people thought it would be. So luckily we actually do have some in-depth poll results here where we can actually look exactly how many extra votes were added and the voting history. So around September 18th is when the Deadman mode tournament controversy happened, and it looks like thanks to that there were somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 no votes, which I guess you could categorize as spite votes because there was a giant spike there. Now, Jagex states that before the tournament, the poll was around 83 to 84% yes, but after the tournament, it was somewhere between 79 and 80%, so a 3 or 4% drop. So there's kind of two ways you could look at this. One is only a 4% difference, even from all that controversy, and the spite votes didn't make that much of a difference. Or on the flip side, you could say that this is the most voted poll in the history of the game, and even 2,000 to 3,000 no votes in a less popular poll could actually change the result. In the end though, Group Ironman did end up passing, and we are going to be receiving it on October 6th. Personally, I'm not going to play it, I don't think, but I'm really excited to see what content people make, and you know, I'm just happy other people get access to it. So hopefully we can put all of that behind us. So today we finally ended up receiving an actual, honest-to-God content update for the main game, and it's titled Wilderness and Equipment Rebalancing Changes. Now just a few days ago I was thinking to myself, what the hell happened to the Black D'hide and Din's Bulwark nerf? Did that just happen and I forgot about it? But no, apparently it was delayed for some reason, which we'll probably get into here. But today we are finally getting those changes. So they mentioned at the top here that regrettably it's taken us much longer to get around to these changes than we'd hoped. Apparently the developer that was working on this was required elsewhere. I mean, it's hard to imagine a numerical change taking that long, but you know, I don't really understand the inner workings of the old school RuneScape spaghetti code. But anyway, it looks like we are finally getting the update. Now first up here we have the Dragonhide armor nerf. So there are going to be some significant changes to black, red, blue, and green D'hide. Keep in mind, Blessed D'hide is not getting changed, even though they accidentally changed it in today's update. They did hotfix that. So essentially across the board, the defensive bonuses for the D'hide sets are getting reduced. Offensively, they are not changing, however defensively they're going to be much weaker. Now in addition to this change, the defense requirement for God D'hide chaps is reduced from 40 defense to 1, making it accessible for all players, which I suppose makes it more in line with the other D'hide chaps. So on top of that, we finally received the nerf to the Din's Bulwark. So the Bulwark stab, slash, and crush defense bonuses are being reduced fairly significantly. In contrast, its crush attack bonus and attack speed has been increased to 124 and a 5-tick weapon. So offensively a bit stronger and defensively a bit weaker. Still kind of weird because it's just a big shield, but so on top of these stat changes, the Din's Bulwark also has a new passive effect. when you're not in defensive mode, your melee strength is increased by a following ratio. So your average stab / crush and range defense, minus 200 divided by 3, minus 38. The ratio isn't that important. Essentially, if you have a full best in slot defensive gear setup, you will have a max hit of 46 with the Din's Bulwark, which is much higher than the previous max of 32. And that's actually a significant max hit while also being incredibly defensive. Still may only have niche uses, but I am really curious though to see where this is going to be useful. Okay, now another small equipment rebalance is to Zerition robes. I totally forgot about that. Now Zerition robes are getting their offensive capabilities nerfed a bit, so they're reducing the magic attack bonus across the entire set, as they were dirt cheap for the offensive capabilities that they offered. So in total, 10 magic attack will be removed across the entire set. Okay, another one I totally forgot about are elemental staves. This one isn't really wilderness related, but the different elemental staves are now going to have different magic attack bonuses, which I think is really cool, which helps fill in the early game a bit more. So the basic staves are not getting changed at all. The battle staves are now having their magic attack bonus increased to plus 12, and the mystic staves are getting their magic attack bonus increased to 14. Where previously they were all the same. So that is it for the equipment rebalance. There are a few other minor changes to the wilderness. For example, the wilderness sword will now slash webs while it's in your inventory, and it's a quick quality of life change. And finally here, a small change to the Revenant Caves. The middle entrance is now going to be a one-way cavern. When you go in, a warning will pop up telling you that it is a one-way trip, you cannot go back, pretty much forcing you to take either the north or south exit. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's content update. So that is it for all the content this week, and while there might be a live stream tomorrow, it's just as likely there isn't one. The last actual Q&A live stream to happen was from 3 weeks ago, and with all the controversy happening recently, I mean, I don't blame them for not wanting to really do a question and answer, although I do look forward to those live streams. Now, a question that has kind of been on my mind a bit recently is the main game getting neglected? Now, I think there's no doubt that the main game has not been receiving many or any content updates. Like, I'm not even talking about big picture updates. I mean, for sure, we have not gotten many of those this year, but even just smaller changes, like, for example, the final bits of the equipment rebalance, that has been on the back burner for 2 or 3 months now. And just even basic quality of life and poll changes are taking weeks, if not months, to come through. So do you guys think the main game is being neglected? It does seem like as of late, Jagex has been heavily focused on temporary game modes and alternative game modes. For example, the next update, Group Ironman. After that, it's going to be Leagues 3. We just had Deadman mode, and those updates take significant resources. For example, just the Deadman mode had a brand new set of relics that all had to be integrated, and there's no doubt that that must have taken way longer than, for example, putting in the equipment rebalance. I mean, I haven't made a weekly recap in over a month, and even after a month, for me to even hit an 8-minute video length, I pretty much have to spend 2 minutes of it complaining about Jagex. Anyway, I guess rant over. Thanks for watching, guys, as always, and hopefully I will see you guys next week with a larger content update, but I'm not holding my breath. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Now, before I go here, I want to give a massive thank you to all of my members over on YouTube. Thanks so much to Sejuani's Flail, The Hybrid, Guy Fawkes, Timothy Chen, Ocelot, and Kush Patel for all being subscribed at the Dragon tier. You guys, it honestly means so much. You guys are willing to support me that much. Thank you. Also, a giant thank you to Btd6, Mexose, NDM001, and yoyosup89 for being subscribed at the Runite tier. As always, if you guys are looking for another way to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is an awesome way to do so. Mainly, you'll be immortalized in all of my future videos, but you also get a custom role in my Discord server, as well as access to my video release schedule. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you next time.